Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and there's a surprise update for Battlefield 5 today. It should be out and available by the time you're watching this video, so I'm going to run through all of the significant points from the patch notes, explain the effect I think they're going to have, and whether they seem like a good idea or not, and summarize as to whether this patch looks like being a step in the right direction or just another addition to the mess that's been made so far. I'll also link to the full patch notes in the description in case you want to check them for yourself afterwards at your own leisure. So today, take this all in, enjoy it, play the update, and let me know what you think. If you haven't played the update yet, get in the comments below and let me know how it all sounds. Is it enough, and do you even play Battlefield 5 anymore? And if you have played the update, then even better, let myself and everyone know how your experience has been so far. Is it good? Are there enough changes? Are there new bugs and all that kind of stuff? We'll see if we can work out an overall opinion on this patch so far. And so we'll jump right into this today, as there's a lot to cover. I won't really be scripting it. I'll be giving you my genuine impression of what DICE have added and changed, and I'm really hoping for good things because Battlefield 5 needs some fresh positives if it's got any chance of being relevant with the new shooter titles being released soon. Okay, I'm going to hit these points in the order they're presented in the patch notes. So under the initial title where they tell us the basic stuff, the big things that are coming that are hopefully going to get us excited, the What's New section, we've got two new maps, that's Lofoten Islands and Provence, not sure how to pronounce it, but they're available on Squad Conquest and Team Deathmatch. They were the maps that were originally planned to be used for the 5v5 mode, which got scrapped, so it now appears to being repurposed for Squad Conquest and Team Deathmatch. Not sure whether they were going to be in the first place or not, but at least we're finally getting these new maps, so it'll be interesting to see how they're balanced, how they're laid out, whether they're enough for the community, as generally they do like the bigger game modes on the whole. Hopefully it'll be a positive addition. I'd also hope these maps don't have any massive bugs on them. Like, remember how El Sundan can't be played on Conquest still because of a bug after like 2 months, which isn't great. But also on that map, it's I haven't played it for a while to be honest, but I know that it used to be, and maybe still is the case, that when you load in, your field of view will be wrong if you changed it, so you have to melee to get it to go back. There was an issue with it being very easy to spawn trap on that map, and also it was very difficult to get the game to register you trying to jump through a window. Just stuff like that. We don't need more things like that on new maps. We just want to be excited about the new maps, not frustrated. So I'll have my fingers crossed they're both really good and can help to turn the tide a bit of this game so far. Sorry, I might have been shouting so far. I'm actually kind of excited to be getting somewhat good news, although obviously I don't know if this is carried through well in the actual update, but I'm just looking. A lot of this looks really good. Let's carry on. We got two new weapons deploying across the next 2 weeks of Tides of War. The Panzerbusch, I've definitely pronounced that wrong. The Panzerbusch 39 and the Breda M1935 PG. I think there were two of the things we saw in the trailers for this new stuff coming, for the new update with Lofoten Islands and that, so hopefully they're going to be great. We definitely need some new weapons to keep things fresh, and we don't want to keep getting skins and stuff like that within the weekly Tides of War. We can't get weapons all the time, of course, but getting a hat or a skin that looks like another skin for a different gun, it's not exactly keeping people playing. So two new weapons sounds great. Although I've not looked into them. If it's going to be another bipod rifle or something, then God, the community's going to be mad. I've not looked at what they are. I don't want to because I don't want to disappoint myself. Fingers crossed there's something fun. Then we've got the max career rank increase to 500. Yes, it's only taken 10 months to get an increase to the max rank. Hallelujah. So no longer will 99% of the player base be stuck at 50. You can actually grind for a number now if you want. Yes, it seems kind of arbitrary at this point, but at least we've finally got it, okay? So if you want to go for 500, you can start doing that today. As of right now, I imagine, unless they mess something up. So go and have a crack. Get that number off 50. Let me know if it makes it more fun for you as well. I think it's nice to have something else to grind for while you're playing. It's something that has been desperately needed. I can't believe it's taken this long, but I don't want to turn this all into a negative. So yes, finally, a max career rank increase, 10 times what the current one is. So enjoy that. Moving on to what's changed now. We've got a stability headline which says general stability improvements and crash fixes. I don't like this, to be honest. I'll explain why. We see that statement implementing pretty much every update, and as we've seen many times, things have got worse many times. So it doesn't mean anything to me or the community. We kind of need specifics rather than that. That's just a nothing statement for us. Getting something that says general stability improvements and crash fixes, and then things continue to go wrong, or sometimes they improve, or sometimes they remain the same, it doesn't help us. We need to know what it is specifically so that we can work out if it's working or not, or at least see what DICE is aiming to improve. Anything that says general on it is just kind of meh. But hopefully it does help. It is, I guess, somewhat nice we see that they are still apparently trying to fix things, although we wouldn't be able to tell if they were or not with that statement, I guess. But yes, a stability improvement and crash fixes would definitely be good if they're in place. And I guess if they would say specifically what it is supposed to be, it would land them in more trouble if it then didn't work, so maybe they're just covering their own backs. There's also resolved a performance issue that could occur when breaking enemies' armor on Firestorm and cause stuttering, so cool. If anyone still plays Firestorm, that might help you out. Moving on to maps and modes, we've got, as I said before, Lofton Islands, available in Team Deathmatch and Squad Conquest, Provence or Provence, available in Team Deathmatch and Squad Conquest, Marita, oh good, okay, this somewhat is like what I was talking about earlier, so this is good. Marita fixed a window where players would get stuck when vaulting through it. Wait, fixed a window? Dude, that happened on so many windows. Did they fix the rest of them, or they only done one, or is that a misprint, or... I hope it's now good for all of them, because it seemed to work on lots of them when I was trying. But anyway, yes, that might have been fixed. There's improvements to spawn points. Okay, it's like, okay, they've actually hit on some of the things that were the problem on that map. Finally. Oh, and some of you already blasted him in the comment section because I said Alcyon Dan earlier. I meant Marita. Alcyon Dan can't be played on Conquest still. Marita has the issue with the windows and the spawn points. So, my bad. You've already heard me say it, so yes, you've probably already battered me in the comment section. But if anyone has done that and then clicked off the video, you look silly now because I addressed it later on. So yeah, that map should hopefully be better now. Mercury, now available on Squad Conquest. Cool, that's good. That's a good thing. Also, Mercury fixed an issue that was changing the behavior of smoke grenades on this map. Okay, like were they just not working? Possibly, I don't know. Cool, so many random bugs in this game. Like so many of them I don't even know because there's such a vast amount. Then spectator mode. Okay, so you guys that do screenshots, this is cool for you. If a player uses the war camera, it will no longer cause the spectator to see its UI. Cool, okay, good, a nice little thing. Moving on to weapons. We've performed a balanced pass across the damage of our sniper rifles, the recoil applied to our SMGs, oh really? Okay. Relative to the SMGs specifically, we've switched out some of the specializations on weapons, which we believe would benefit from an alternative option. In these cases, you should find that your SMGs may require a respec, so double check your loadouts before deploying. Okay, cool, so check your SMGs before you start playing, people, because they're a bit different now. I assume later on they'll tell us more about those SMG changes, so for now I'm just going to move on with what they're telling me. Oh, they're kind of getting into it a little bit here, and then there's specifics later on. So, balance changes. Improved hipfire accuracy while jumping for sidearms, SMGs, pistol carbines, bolt-action carbines, and assault rifles. Great. For most of you, this means nothing. For someone like me, it's fantastic, because I really like to jump shot and stuff like that. So, great news for me, and anyone that likes to be mobile with those weapons. You can now fire more accurately in the air. I know that's going to annoy some people. They're going to be like, oh, it's back to COD, jump shotting and stuff. You know, the thing is for me that you can shoot weapons while you're in the air. If you wanted to jump and shoot, you could do so. I don't have a problem with that, and it is a game. I like that you can be aggressive, and there's a higher skill ceiling for these things. If you don't like it, that's cool, let me know, but yes, better hipfire accuracy from the air. There's also improved hipfire accuracy while moving when using the enhanced grip specialization. There's increased vertical recoil of all MMGs by 150% on the first shot. Oh my god, thank you. Decreasing to the current value starting from the 5th shot. We have further changes coming to MMGs in our next update. Oh, wow, that is, for most people, this is amazing news. Again, for some of you, terrible news for some of you MMG users. I'm sorry, but for most of us, this is fantastic. This basically means that this is a huge nerf. This means MMGs have 150% more recoil on the first shot, and it only decreases to the current value starting from the 5th shot. So they're no longer going to be crazy laser beams. They're probably still going to be, you know, very, very good lying down, obviously with the bipod, but they're not going to be these stupid laser beam things anymore, hopefully. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go and try it and find out and see what it's like to play with and play against, but we've needed that, to be honest. This bipod meta is a real pain for most people, and it's really hurt the game in my opinion, so that's fantastic news. Thank you, DICE. They're also adjusting bullet penetration effectiveness of bolt-action sniper rifles and self-loading rifles through materials. We don't know if that's better or worse, just says adjusted. Once again, DICE, it would be nice if we could get actual information from the patch notes. We don't know what that means. Because they've also adjusted AT rifle damage through materials. Again, tell me more. I don't know if that's good or bad, or whether it's just damage or to do with range or anything. Please let me know in future. There's increased melee damage of light melee weapons such as knives to 35 from 27. Okay, cool. So knives and lighter weapons, lighter melee weapons now do more damage. So you've got more of a chance of getting those one-shot takedowns or just double hitting people with them. So cool, good stuff. Okay, we've got some specifics. I'm just looking how many there are. I can do that. I'm gonna run through all of these very quickly, okay? I'm looking, I don't really understand some of them. Oh, maybe, I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'll go through it and see if I can explain. So, the Lee Enfield has increased maximum damage by 5 from 60 to 65, and increased minimum damage from 55 to 60, so by 5 again. The Gewehr M95/30 has increased minimum damage to 66 from 60. The Kar 98 has the same increase to minimum damage from 60 to 66. The Krag Jorgensen has increased maximum damage from 54 to 60 and increased minimum damage from 54 to 60. So it does the same amount no matter what now? Is that its thing? Do I not know that? Is that the good thing about it? Or is that a misprint? Some of you will know, let me know. But yeah, it's now got increased damage overall, that means. That's all they're telling me for the bolt action rifles. So basically some of the bolt action rifles are now more powerful. You've got a better chance of getting a one-shot body shot with them. Yeah, the sniper rifle, this is good for console, where bolt action rifles feel a bit weak, to be honest. With a lot of other weapons killing so quickly compared to previous Battlefield titles, the sniper rifles have fallen behind. Whether this will be annoying on PC, I'm not sure, because it is much easier to aim on there, obviously. Potential one-shot kill weapons on that platform can be a lot more potent, so let me know. I want to know the difference between console and PC. Let me know if this is good on one and bad on the other after you've played. That'd be very interesting. And now we come to the changes for the SMGs. I don't really understand these, to be honest. I'll go through each of them, but I didn't think anyone was complaining about SMGs anymore. I think they're actually excellent. I think SMGs are absolutely lethal if you know what you're doing, and them being even better is going to be nuts to me, unless it's something to do with the changes to the specializations, possibly. So you got to buff the base values because the specializations are different now, as I said before, but I don't know. If it's not to do with that, and SMGs are just flat out better now, this is weird to me. So I'll go through them. The EMP has reduced initial vertical recoil to 0.52 from 0.55, reduced maximum vertical recoil to 0.6 from 0.73, reduced horizontal recoil to 0.31 from 0.35, and a reduced recoil pattern. You know what, I'm just looking, I'm not going to go through all of these numbers for every single one because that would take ages and wouldn't be interesting for you. So basically, the MAB 30 has reduced initial vertical recoil, reduced maximum vertical recoil, reduced horizontal recoil with the ported barrel specialization, a reduced recoil pattern, and fixed horizontal recoil in hipfire being slightly too high. The MP28 has reduced vertical recoil, reduced horizontal recoil, and reduced recoil pattern. The MP34 has replaced the recoil buffer specialization with enhanced grips. Okay, no, so it tells me what's changed on some of them. So it looks like there is just a buff to SMGs. Really weird. I don't think they need it, but they're gonna be crazy now. Enjoy that if you're a medic player. Maybe they're trying to increase the medic usage in this game, but this might do it. I'm gonna get on and enjoy this. Also on the MP34, they've increased, oh okay, here's a balancing one. Increased initial vertical recoil to 0.5 from 0.48. Okay, so it's not all buffs. There are some balancing factors at play, but overall it looks like a buff to most of them. They've reduced maximum vertical recoil, reduced horizontal recoil, it's really hard to say recoil, that is, over and over again, and they've reduced recoil pattern slightly. I'm going to stop trying so hard to say recoil properly and just say it however it comes out. It's like a tongue twister. The MP40, increased initial vertical recoil and reduced maximum vertical recoil. The Tommy gun, reduced horizontal recoil, replaced the ported barrel specialization with custom stock, and reduced recoil pattern slightly. We're nearly done with these, don't worry. Suomi, reduced vertical recoil, reduced horizontal recoil, replaced the ported barrel specialization with custom stock, and reduced recoil pattern slightly. Finally, the ZK383, reduced initial vertical recoil, reduced reduced maximum vertical recoil and reduced recoil pattern when using the light bolt specialization. I'm glad to get those done out of the way. So overall, buffs to bolt action rifles and absolutely buffs to SMGs. So please let me know how that all pans out. I'd be very interested to hear that as well. I can understand the one to bolt actions, at least for console. I do not understand the ones for SMGs overall, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. But I think they're going to be really, really strong now. Unless that's a possibility. Unless they're trying to alter SMG usage to spread it more across the class. So more people are using more different SMGs rather than the same few. That's possible, I guess. We'll see. Okay, there's honestly so much in this. I'm going to run through these really quickly and probably just go for the ones that seem important. As I said, you can check the patch notes if you want to see everything. So in the general weapon and gadget changes, players can now throw back their own grenade. There's a tweaked and improved visual effect for hand grenade explosions. AP mines no longer unspawn after death. Okay, I kind of get that. Because AP mines are now so much weaker than before. They've reverted back to them staying there all the time. I don't have a problem with that. That makes them a bit more balanced, I think. AP mines can also, though, no longer be placed on barbed wire. Cool. They've increased the volume of the ping sound effect on AP mines, so you've got more of a chance of hearing them now. AT mines are now behaving correctly and applying damage consistent with prior updates. They've adjusted the deploy time of the AT pistol to better match the animation. The Piat and the Panzerfaust now properly show their reload animation after many consecutive reloads. They've fixed an issue entering aim-down sights when resupplying or using an ammo or medical pouch. That's good. Thank you for that. They've fixed the scope glint on the boys AT rifle with the medium range scope. They've fixed an issue that would cause projectiles that are not set to have ricochet properties to ricochet anyway at certain angles, which would cause less than intended damage. They've also fixed an issue where the ammo counter on the flare gun was not visible, and they've fixed an issue that would cause some gold weapon pieces to not look like gold in game. And finally, I'll hit upon the most relevant soldier changes. The parachute can now be opened a bit earlier when falling. This allows players at full health to use the parachute for most lethal falls. Okay, great. So they've finally got it working like it did in like Battlefield 1, for example, I think. It's taken a long time, but the parachute should now work in the way you want it to. And you can now glide a bit more with the parachute as well. You've got more directional control, and aiming slightly affects parachute direction. They've fixed an issue where soldier hitboxes could be desynced when entering a revive. God, revive's hard to say. Okay, but that's a good one. I like that. They've also, oh, this is great. They've also fixed an issue where soldier hitboxes could be desynced when vaulting. We've needed that for so damn long. Thank you. Fixed an issue where players could die when colliding with a health or ammo crate due to high velocity. They've fixed an issue where players could die when colliding with another player while initiating a revive or a vault. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's hilarious. It looks like melee takedowns will now be more reliable when the victim is either slightly too low or slightly too high. Like before, if they were lying down, you sometimes couldn't get them. So now, thankfully, that should work. And they've fixed an issue that sometimes caused low quality soldier models to be present in the airplane when deploying in airborne mode on ground operations. And that's where I'm going to end this today. There's a few vehicle ones here and there, but nothing too massive, I don't think. And I'm not a vehicle player, so you're better off looking at the patch notes for it if you want. And then just a few platform-specific changes which aren't really particularly important. So yeah, I actually think, having said all that, this sounds really good overall. This sounds like a very big patch. A lot of it sounds very promising. There's still a lot of things that aren't mentioned, but you know, you can't have everything. If all of this comes into the game and works, it will push the game forwards a decent amount, let's say. And these kind of changes need to keep happening, but I won't know until I've played it and until I hear your feedback. Obviously, this may be put into the game and it all just really bad. It may not work properly. There might be more bugs, and that would be terrible. I've said before, if that continues to happen, it's going to be incredibly bad news for the game. So hopefully that's not the case. But yes, I will say this is a step in the right direction if they get it all right, and they need to continue to bring updates like this to get this game anywhere decent, because otherwise it will not compete with Call of Duty, with the Destiny update, with Borderlands 3, all that sort of stuff. This needs to be good. Otherwise, this game's going to fall even further than it already has. And so yeah, that's my quick summary after a very long list of updates. Let me know what you think, and I hope this is useful and you enjoyed the video. If you did, the like button would welcome your clicks. It enjoys them. I promise you, it told me in private. I would also like it if you'd subscribe and turn on those notifications with the bell button so you can stay up to date, because subscriptions aren't too good on their own anymore, unfortunately. Be sure to follow me on Mixer, where I will be streaming soon. Yes, it is coming soon. I know you've been waiting a while, but all of the setup and the green screen and the face reveal video, it takes a long time to get right, and it will be worth it, I promise. I am still working on videos at the minute, as you can see, so it's a long long process. And then join my Discord server in the description and my pinned comment. Here's the Board of Awesome for the epic people who support the channel on Patreon. They're all absolute heroes and I love them all deeply and of course often. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link is in the description and my pinned comment. And with that all finally said, this is going to take me ages to edit. I'm GetGoodGuy and I will see you next time. Laters.